Hello, this is Wmpyr. All right, so what do you guys like to do when you're stressed out? Sometimes my mind just goes to negative things. Um, I just start like thinking about bad memories instead of the good memories. And honestly, I would rather choose to remember good memories and relive those over and over again instead of the bad ones. But like I said, my mind sometimes goes straight to the bad memories and it brings that back, and it's very, very hurtful. So at times like that, what do you like to do to relax? And I like to read. I like to read books, comic books, graphic novels, magazines, or just novels. Fiction or nonfiction, doesn't matter. I like to read. Another thing I like to do is video games. But both of those sometimes, like when you're really like I said, your mind's going towards negative stuff, it's just not feeling it. So at times like that, what helps me personally is this is Lego stuff. Yeah. When I first get a Lego set, I build it exactly the way the instructions say. I follow the instructions and I build what the package tells you to build. I like to do that. But then after I do that, I like to build my own thing. So I basically do that like once. And then from there, I I like to build my own stuff. I like to change things around and just create whatever the heck. This right here is from T-Biz. This guy right here also from T-Biz. So I have some stuff in here that's not exactly Lego, like this guy too, from Creo and stuff. But they're compatible. Amazing stuff, amazing. But for me, this kind of works because I'm able to, how do you say, um, just you start using your hands and you start building, and it helps you get into it. It's active, but it's not like a video game where like I have to do something right. This is more free flow. and and the book also I'm reading and I start imagining, but if I'm not into it, it doesn't, I can't visualize it, and then the words mean nothing. So this works for me, just me personally. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. That's just thought I'd share with you guys how I personally relieve stress. Another thing is I like touching knives. I just like, I like fidgeting, especially Professor Bram Frank's knives. But I'm here to talk about this guy. So in a self-defense situation, let's talk about the actual situation. So situation can be here. Let's say I'm walking down a busy street. And by busy, not necessarily the nicest people are around. And this has happened to me twice. I remember Louisiana, downtown Louisiana was not a nice place, and also some parts of New York was not a nice place. Walking around there, walking downtown Houston was also not nice, but it wasn't as busy as both of those. So let's say New York and also Louisiana, you're walking down the street, and someone comes after you. Maybe a mistaken identity, I don't know what, and it happens quick and they're on me, right? So in that case, they're on me. It's natural to ball up because you don't want to just go, what, and then clock, and that's it, right? Get hit in the chin, you're going to be semi out or completely out at that point. So you ball up protecting that stuff. So I'm balling up. I am able to reach down into my pocket and take this guy out. And because I take him out closed, and that's what this is designed for, is to take it out closed. Take it out closed, I don't have to worry about getting the blade out or anything like that. It just simplifies things. And if it was a fixed blade, I take out a fixed blade, I'm worried about, well, I'm being attacked right now, so I don't want to accidentally fall on my blade or cut myself. So I got to worry about that. This, I don't have to worry about none of that. I just take it out and it's closed and it's not, there's no edge out. Okay, so I'm fine with this. I take this out, I'm balled up, and then trying to see what the hell's going on. And the way Professor Bram Frank explains it is you're just going to lift this up like it's a crucifix against Dracula. Okay. I don't know if he said that, but I get that kind of impression. You're just holding it like you're holding a crucifix, right? And they're a vampire. So if they punch this, they're going to hurt themselves. They don't want to punch this. And I'm just putting an obstacle between them and me. And there we go. So that's one way to use it. That doesn't take training, really. Just lift it up and make sure you're holding it strong. So you don't want it to come back and hit you. So you just hold it strong and keep the vital parts tucked in. The other way was, I got the impression that he learned it directly from Professor Danny Nosanto, which is the inch punch, basically. The Wing Chun inch punch. So you're doing the inch punch. This goes into their sternum. And you're, boom, doing that, not to punch them. You're doing it to create distance, to move them back off of you. And the sternum right here, it doesn't matter how big their muscles are, this is bone. So the muscles come out and it has to come back here. It attaches here. So this part is the bone. That's what you're going for, is the bone, not the muscle. So then, if you do that, you have a much better chance of being effective, even if they're huge and they're jacked and they're a steroid monster. So those are the two ways that he covers using this. Now what's important about that is you're using this thing in the closed position. That is super, super important, because in the closed position, this is a non-lethal self-defense tool, right? And that's what you want to use. What's amazing about that is because it is a non-lethal self-defense tool, I'm not using this as a knife, even though it's also a knife. I'm using this, like, think of a multi-tool. A multi-tool has a wrench, right? It has pliers, it has screwdrivers, it has all kinds of tools on there. You're using it as a plier. At that point, it is a plier. So at this point, this is a non-lethal self-defense tool, and you're using it in that manner. I'm not going and assaulting someone with this. No, that's not what he teaches. Okay. So with more skill, like if you're actually training in Filipino martial arts, and obviously Professor Bram Frank is a Filipino martial arts teacher of teachers, this is designed for Filipino martial arts. Filipino martial arts, I would say, is embedded in this. So they're attacking me. I'm using basic, I could use Heaven 6. Just use your Heaven 6 to get their arm out of the way, because they're trying to stab you with their knife, or maybe they have a lead pipe, and I'm just trying to get their arm out of the way using this. And if I hit them on the arm, that's called defang the snake. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So it's defensive. Everything I'm doing is defensive right now. It's to protect me, and it's not to go attack them. So this is a self-defense tool that comes with, if you truly understand how to use this, to me, it's a self-defense system that goes along with this. It's a very specific way that you use this. Okay. So it's already in your hand at this point, and I'm doing, this kind of thing to get their attacks out of the way. It's not working, or things are getting more hostile. So at that point, it's already in my hand. So I could hook it, boom, right here, and get the blade out. Easy, fast, right? Quick, because it's already there, boom. All it took was this quick, simple flick, and there it is. The blade is out. Now I'm going to use this less than lethal. Just because the blade's out doesn't mean I got to go kill this guy. No, I'm doing the exact same thing. Heaven 6, trying to get his attacks out of the way. Boom, 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 using Heaven 6. So I'm cutting him on the arm now. Before I was hitting him on the arm. Now I'm cutting him on the arm because I had to go along the force continuum because they're attacking me. And they're really, really trying to hurt me. So now at this point, I'm also going less than lethal, you know? So I'm going down the force continuum. I went from non-lethal to less than lethal. I am cutting them on the arm. Hopefully, this will end it. Actually, hopefully, if I hit him on the arm with this in the closed position, that will end it. But if it doesn't, now I'm cutting them on the arm. And hopefully that ends it. But if that doesn't end it, then what's going to happen? Well, chances are if that doesn't end it, they're on me. they're already on me. They're choking me to death, you know, or they're about to shove a screwdriver through my eye, you know, who knows what, right? Something horrible. They're trying to finish me. So at that point, you know, the blade's already out. I do the exact same thing, the Heaven 6. So at that point, they're already here on me. And if I do the Heaven 6, you could see I'm going to be hitting them on the head and the torso now, not the arms, because we're already too close. So in that case, chances are, you know, I could still hit them on the arm, but I'm just saying chances are now it's going to be head and body. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's not something I chose. The situation told me what tool to use. The tool is a technique. The situation tells me what technique to do, which is the last situation was Heaven 6 to either the head or the body. Okay. Before that was Heaven 6 to the arms. And before that was Heaven 6, once again, same technique, but this time this closed, in the closed position, to the arms. You see, so the situation tells me what to do. It's automatic. I don't have to think. So I'm just doing Heaven 6 the whole time in my mind. So it's very, very simple in that sense. So if you look at it that way, you know, I've never thought like, okay, now I got to kill the guy. No, I'm not thinking that. Now I got to change and start using lethal techniques. No, not at all. I never once crossed my mind. I am just trying to defend myself. So if I hit him in the head or the body, that's because it's right there. And I got nothing else. I got no choice. I'm doing this. You hit him in the neck. I'm sorry. Why is he that close to me? It's because he was ready to finish me. You know, that, and I'm not trying to finish him. I'm just saying that's my retaliation. Try to get him off. And then hit him in the neck at that point, you know. So the situation tells you what to do. If you have to make that decision, should I go lethal force or non-lethal? Should I do in the spur of the moment? Good luck. That's tough. That's very, very tough. With all the chaos going on, your heart's beating this fast. Things are scary. I don't know. Oh, I killed him. You know, that sucks, right? With this, I'm just following the program. I'm following the system. So, you know, just something to think about. You want that kind of stuff pre-programmed, right? And so those of you that are training in assault styles, you know, that's why I said to you guys, when I look at any kind of martial arts style, it boils down to assault, fighting, or self-defense. What Professor Bram Frank teaches and what this knife is designed for is for self-defense. Okay, yeah, I could go assault somebody, you know, if I just ran up to someone and did this, that's assault, you know. If I just went up to somebody and did this, that is assault, and probably that'll end up in murder, okay. But the way that that could be done with, you know, anything. It's how you use it too. But the way that this was specifically designed for is self-defense, all right? So those of you that are training in knife combat styles or some other martial arts styles, and you're learning assault techniques, and that's what you're doing, then you're the person that you have to make that call at some point and go, when do I use my style? Because your style is an assault style. Your style can be lethal. And you have to wait until lethal force can be justified. With this is self-defense. So this means I could bring this into the picture. I could start doing this at a much, much faster situation, in a self-defense situation. Not every self-defense situation is lethal force situation, is what I want to say. So if this person has their right here on my neck, up against the wall, that doesn't mean now I got to kill him. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that. Now they're squeezing real hard and they're trying to kill me for real, then that's a different situation. But if they're just doing this and I'm just against the wall and they're just showing dominance maybe, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean now I got to answer back with lethal force. So you have to understand that a self-defense situation can be broad there in that sense. And we can't ignore possibilities, or should I say percentage. Okay, so there's a higher percentage that you're going to be in a non-lethal situation if you're ever in a self-defense situation. In the course of your adult life, how many times are you going to actually be in a real self-defense situation? Or in the course of your entire life, how many times are you really, really, really going to be in a self-defense situation? Hopefully it's like 5 times or something like that, right? So within those 5 times, how many of those are going to be where you absolutely need lethal force? I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've absolutely needed lethal force. So you cannot ignore those odds, okay? If you ignore those odds, then you're ignoring reality. So you can't just be like, I only want to focus just on the lethal force situation, all right? And that's what I'm always going to be prepared for, is a lethal force situation. And, that, then you probably prepared for something that you'll never use. And hopefully you never will. And that's great. That's great. Hopefully you really never will. But what happens where you're in a situation that you do need self-defense, but it doesn't require lethal force? And that's all you've done is lethal force training. Guess what? Your brain's going to immediately think, first thing is, I should blow this guy away. That is not the right answer. It's the wrong tool for the wrong situation, and that can also get you in severe trouble because, if you do something like that, you blow this guy away. Now, what if there's a bystander? They also have a concealed handgun, and they saw you blow this guy away. So what if they blow you away? But if you had done self-defense non-lethally, then maybe they would have seen and they go, okay, I don't know what the situation here is, but this guy stopped. He stopped. That other guy's down. Okay, what's going on? If they have a rational mind. Now, they may not have a rational mind, but if they don't have a rational mind, either way, you might be screwed. It's just, but if they have a rational mind, and that's what we, the public, civilians, we want it to where we all have a rational mind as much as possible. It's when we're intolerant and irrational, that's when things start to get scary, living in such places, right? So anyway, I hope that makes sense. That's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.